Hi, it's Simon. I'm on staff team at St John's, heading up men's and sports ministry. So hopefully most of you know me, and most of you will probably be aware that we haven't sent you a Thought for Your Walk for about 6 months, which I massively apologise for over the busy season, but also it's given us a bit of time to breathe and think about where we want to go as men of St John's. And so one of the things we're going to start doing, instead of sending you emails every fortnight, we're going to send these video thoughts, really, once a month. And we've got a new series we're going to kick off, 52 Men of the Bible by Carl Beech. And we're going to pick 12 men from the Old Testament for this year and go through them one by one, pulling out things that are going to be really relevant for us to learn practically about how it is to be a man, to be a Christian man, things that are going to benefit our wives, our children, our family, our friends, our work colleagues, even our bosses, but hopefully also will be beneficial for us as individuals. So we're going to be really intentional about these videos, bring some encouragement and then some challenge. And the first man we're going to look at is probably the obvious one, where we often begin, the man, the ultimate man, the only man who was born into purity, who was not encased in sin, and that is of course Adam, the guy that lived apparently 930 years according to scripture in land much like this here today, obviously our heathland. But there's only 50 verses on this man, so we don't know a lot about him, but we're going to hear about how he lost everything that he had. He gambled on purity and he lost. And so we're going to look about how he responded to that. Now, if that was me, I know I'd probably get quite angry, quite upset, and then I'd sulk for probably most of those 930 years. But we don't hear that about Adam. Now, I know I'd do that because 2 weeks ago, I lost my laptop. And it was a new laptop I'd bought about 7 weeks ago. Spent quite a bit of money on it because I wanted it to last, but it just went missing. It was on the way back from a college residential, dropped some guys at the station, and it wasn't in the car when I got home. It's not turned up. Police haven't got it. Hasn't turned up at the lost property. So I just spent a few days just being upset, being miserable, being angry, and just generally sulking. Just being a bit annoyed about the situation. I was sulking to people on the school gates, sulking at home to Lou, sulking to my kids, sulking in the office, just generally being down. And that's just on a laptop. And here we got Adam, who lost eternity with God. He walked the ground with God hand in hand, and yet he lost that. And so as I've been looking at Adam, it's really challenged me, and it's really pulled me out of this place of going into my cave and sulking. So I just wonder if that challenges you at all. Carl Beech talks about how we often justify sulking because we don't think it makes a difference, but it really does. Not only is it very unattractive character in a man, but it also is a terrible witness as a Christian man. People that we believe that God has good purposes for us, that plans to prosper us, and yet we sulk, thinking that it's all been lost. So, are you a sulker or a soldier, is what I'm asking you today. And if you're a sulker, then I encourage you to lift up your head. Romans 12 talks about, Romans 1, talks about being grateful, being thankful for all that God has given us. And maybe especially in those times when we think we've lost out, that they're the times we should be on our knees thanking God for what he has given us. Our families, our friends, our houses that we live in. We're very privileged people. But most of all, he's given us Jesus, who's enabled us to live a life of freedom and in love. So that's what I wanted to speak to you about Adam on. That's the first man of our 12 this year. In a month's time, Matt Pitcher's going to come and share some thoughts on Abraham and how we are to never quit. Don't forget to come to the men's breakfast this Saturday morning, 8:30 at the church. If you haven't signed up yet, just drop a note to us at men@stjohnshw.org.uk, and we'll get you booked in. Have a great rest of the week, and I hope you look forward to journeying with us this year as we get intentional about the men of the Bible and how we can learn from them. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.